All right, everybody, it is Wednesday and we are back over here where we had some issues with the groundwater. I was going to be back over here on Tuesday, but I ended up having to go to the beach down to my office and take care of a few mowing projects yesterday afternoon and a few other odds and ends that were a little bit overdue. So this over here is not a super big rush, and then another day is just another day for it to dry out a little bit better, though it is still about as wet as it was on Monday. But I'm back over here with Little Munch, and I think this is going to be a lot better setup for this job to get this looking good. So let's take a look at what we got really quick, if you guys didn't see the last video, and we'll get started. All right, got Little Munchy over here. Got the teeth sharpened up really good, got some grease put in her. She's looking good. So what do we got? We have got to get he wants to do a little bit more of this. Now right here I was trying to do with the skid steer, and then it just got wet and mucky and nasty, so I got the skid steer out of the way. We're going to take this back just a little bit further through here, and then we're going to start right here and just start making passes. They want basically like the 4-hour minimum with that machine, so cost wise that's going to be around 5 or 6 hours with this machine time wise. So that's what we got to work with. We're just going to do as much as we can in that amount of time and make it look good. So let's get started. trees for another client this morning before I came here. So we've been at this, we're about the halfway point. Let's see, yeah, about 2.5 hours or so we've been at this, roughly speaking. So good progress. Obviously a little slower than the skid steer, but we're making a lot less mess. And, oh, I got a splinter here, hold on. There we go. Making a lot less mess. And we're actually, it's much more thorough, because this section in here, and I don't know why, but it's much tighter when it comes to the bigger mature trees. I mean, like that over there, that little cluster right over there was super tight to try to get in around those trees. Then I got another little cluster of pines here, these big pines. Or there's a big gum and a couple of pines. It's all just packed. The bigger trees in here are just packed together in some spots. So we are a little slower, but this is a much more, we're getting in between the trees and around the trees a lot more better than the skid steer would have. So it's going to look a little better, even though it's going a little slower. I prefer the Mini for these underbrushing jobs around timber. I much more prefer the Mini than the skid steer. Especially when you have really tight trees together that you're trying to work around. It's almost impossible to do that kind of work with a skid steer. It just don't work. But this mulcher head right here, the way you can just swing it around, how small it is, you can just fit it in between the trees, get right up next to the trees. It's just really nice. So I'm just trying to cut a swath through here. Go on, don't fall on me. Trying to keep the discharge pointed. You guys can't see that, but I'm trying to keep the discharge pointed back into the woods and away from the house and away from the driveway, so we make as little of a mess as possible. Soaked underneath it. Absolutely soaked. Let me back up a little bit. Get on top of this. Whatever this tree is. Oh no. I think it's a swamp magnolia, I think. Oh, swamp magnolia. This is the nicest day of summer so far. It is really nice out, not too humid, a little cooler out today. Really reminding me of like an early fall day today. And it just really got me excited. I want fall to be here. I'm tired of summer. I hate summer here, man. I hate it. It just, summer here almost just depresses me, to tell you the truth. Like winter depresses a lot of people. I love winter. I love fall and winter. Summers depress me. It's just hot, miserable. Ugh. hardly anything without sweating your butt off. But when fall comes and it gets cool out, I'm like, man, I want to go out and do stuff. I want to go out and work. Summertime, I'm like, I could stay home today and be completely fine with that. Though I don't, I go out and work, but I wish I could sometimes during summer. There's just days it's so hot and humid, I'm like, I don't even want to go outside. I don't want to walk out my front door. And I typically pretty much enjoy what I do, but doggone, I hate having to do it in the heat. Gum tree right there. I put a good sharpen on those teeth before we got started, and it is paying dividends in these trees in here. About here is the ground is so soft and wet that this mulcher will literally suck the stumps right out of the ground. Like it'll, when you're coming down on a tree, I'm coming down like, well, like this, it'll actually, the teeth will actually pull the stump out of the ground and suck it right into the mulcher, and usually clog the mulcher up. It's a pain in the butt. So you gotta be careful with that. This is looking good. We're gonna keep making these runs through here and opening it up, taking out this underbrushy stuff, and we'll make it look good and see what it looks like when we're done. Stay tuned. right, everybody, that is the job, at least for now. And that looks really good. And after I started getting in here with the Mini, I really actually thought the Mini was the best tool for the job to clear this out over the skid steer. And I'm really glad I did this with the Mini, and I'll show you why. Right here is a perfect example. Like this cluster of pine trees right here in the front. I mean, all this was just so tight together right here. There'd have been no way I'd have been able to clean up between these pines like right here with the skid steer. That just would not have happened. So I'm really happy I had the Mini in here, because I was able to work a lot of these tighter areas around some of these trees right there, you know, that I mean, I'd have had whole patches and clumps and stuff left in here if I'd have had just the skid steer. So, you know, we were able to basically just get everything. I pretty much got everything around the trees. I mean, it looks great in here. The owner's super happy with everything. I gotta, let me pull up my gator here. My net gator. The bugs are eating my ears to pieces. There's gnats all over the place. They're just swarming my ears. About to drive me nuts. But yeah, this looks really good. And we didn't tear up the ground too much. I mean, there's not any real ruts in here. And there's a few where I had the tractor, but they're not deep and it's not a mess. You know, everything looks pretty much like any other mulching job I do with the Mini around these underbrushing jobs with the trees. So everything looks really good in here. It's nice and clean. No clumps or patches left between the trees. So that looks really good. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Owner's super happy, and today was a good day mulching. Nothing broke, nothing went bad, everything went smooth. The weather was, for August, the weather was very nice today. It was a lot cooler today. Still a little humid, but definitely less humid and a lot cooler. So if it had been about 10 degrees cooler out here today, 10 or 12 degrees cooler, and the humidity wouldn't have been as bad, this would have been a perfect day out in the woods mulching. So that got me really excited for fall. I just can't wait for that. So hopefully that will be happening soon. We'll get into fall. I don't know, where did these gnats come from? They just came out of nowhere. We got this whole section over here cleaned up too. I just widened it up a little bit. That didn't take but just a few minutes to clean that up. So that looks good. Got that opened up. So we'll be back tomorrow to do the neighbor. So stay tuned for that. Same mulch time and same mulch channel. So I'll check you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.